Dear students, welcome to another episode on Communicative English. This is Integrated Grammar. This is from Unit 6. You got a variety of exercises and let us analyze them in detail. Now, language study, page 120. Now, choose the expression from the boxes to complete the sentences given below. So, this is a brief exercise on idioms and phrases. So, look at the idioms given there or the phrases given there. Grip the world, caught off guard, in high spirits, running out of time. Now look at the context there. First sentence, many residents were dashed by the fury of the storm. So you can imagine the situation. There is a storm and all the people living in that area, the storm arose suddenly. They were caught off guard. That is your answer. Caught off guard. That is attacked unexpectedly. They did not expect themselves to be endangered by the storm. So they were caught off guard. O-double-F. Second one, the joyful man Tony appeared dashed despite his injury. So there's a person called Tony. Perhaps he's a player or whoever he is. He's a very cheerful man. Now he appeared dashed despite his injury. So normally when we are injured, then we keep sulking and we keep complaining, we keep fretting and we are always whining, discussing our injury. But here this person, despite is in spite of, though he was injured, he was in high spirits. In high spirits, very cheerful and happy. So that is your answer here. The joyful man Tony appeared in high spirits despite his injury. So even though he was injured, he was not sulking or complaining, but he was cheerful as usual. So in high spirits. Third one, we were dashed, so we decided to return home. So perhaps we had gone out on an excursion or somewhere on a trip, but we were running out of time. So we had to return. We had to abandon our sightseeing or whatever it is and we had to come back home because we were short of time. We were running out of time. We could not exceed beyond the stipulated time interval. The Thai cave rescue story, which dash had a happy ending. So this is your textual incident. The Thai cave rescue story, which gripped the world. It held the entire world in rapt attention because of the situation. So many kids' lives were endangered. So it gripped the world. It held the world in great attention. Everyone was anxiously waiting to see what would happen to the people who were trapped in the cave. So these are your answers. I'll read them once again so that the meaning gets registered in you. Many residents were caught off guard by the fury of the storm. The joyful man Tony appeared in high spirits despite his injury. We were running out of time, so we decided to return home. The Thai cave rescue story, which gripped the world, had a happy ending. So that is it, students. So please revise carefully. Next exercise. Fill in the blanks in the sentences given below with the correct alternative chosen from the pairs provided in the brackets. So homophones and other similar sounding words. So let us choose the right answer. So your context will give you the clue. So looking at the context, you choose the right word. Now look at the first sentence. The French doctor understood the full importance of the dash now being performed and never questioned the religious dash of his patients. So the French doctor understood the full importance of the dash now being performed. So normally when you perform ceremonial rituals, so R-I-T-E-S, rites. So here the French doctor, he understood the significance or the importance of the R-I-T-E-S, rites now being performed and never questioned the religious rights of his patients. R-I-G-H-T-S. So right is that liberty. So that religious liberty to exercise one's rights. R-I-G-H-T-S. So the French doctor understood that these rituals or R-I-T-E-S rights were important to that community or to that group of persons and therefore he never questioned their R-I-G-H-T-S, their rights. I hope you understood this clearly. Now next one, the dash of the story was clear, but it did not help in restoring the dash of the sailors listening to the story. So perhaps the sailors were listening to the story. They were a bit gloomy. They were dull. Now they lost their cheer. Now they have to listen to the story, and it would help them to boost their confidence. So the dash of the story was clear. The moral, M-O-R-A-L. The lesson conveyed by the story was clear, but it did not help in restoring the morale of the sailors, the cheer of the sailors, the spirit of the sailors, M-O-R-A-L-E. The spirit of the sailors listening to the story. So that was not restored. So it was a useless affair there. So the right answer, the moral, M-O-R-A-L, of the story was clear, but it did not help in restoring the M-O-R-A-L-E, the cheerful spirit of the sailors listening to the story. We move on to the third one. The employers must always dash the lives of their employees so that they dash increased productivity. The employers must always ensure the lives of their employees. Employer should ensure the lives of the employees, should give provision for insurance, for some sort of compensation if their lives are endangered in some accident in the workplace or due to any untoward situation. So there should be some sort of relief measure or compensation given to them. Why? So that they ensure, they make sure increased productivity. The workers, the employees would work with security, with zeal. They'd be confident that their family members are taken care of in case something happens to them. So the employers must always, I-N-S-U-R-E, ensure the lives of their employees so that they, E-N-S-U-R-E, ensure, confirm, make sure, increase productivity. Next one, the monks' dash to teach meditation to the young boys was appreciated, but the young boys' dash into the monastery was a surprise to the parents. So the monks dash to teach meditation. So initiative. The monks move, the idea, the step taken by the monk to teach meditation to the young boy. So the first blank, the answer is initiative. But the young boys dash into the monastery. Initiation, getting enrolled, entering the monastery to lead an ascetic life. So that was a surprise to their parents. So in the first blank it is I-N-I-T-I-A-T-I-V-E. The monk's initiative to teach meditation to the young boy was appreciated, but the young boy's initiation, I-N-I-T-I-A-T-I-O-N, initiation into the monastery was a surprise to their parents. Now next one, replace the underlined words with one word which means the same. So it's almost like your synonym. So this depends upon your general vocabulary. Now remember children, the more you read, the more you learn. You learn a lot of new words, their meanings, their part of speech, the way they could be applied in relevant context. Your diction improves, your vocabulary gets enlarged. So please keep reading a lot. Now coming back to this question. So annually on August 15. So it's something like every year. So it is annually on August 15. Cochin Adventure Foundation. So what did it do? It started organizing, or it organizes or conducts a whitewater rafting event on Tejashwini River in Pilingom, Kannur. So this is a place. So this foundation, this organization, Cochin Adventure Foundation, it conducts or organizes a whitewater rafting event. So you got the question in your textbook. Please refer to it and look at the answers that I have given. Okay, I am giving you only the answers here. Now, this place is at a 2-hour drive from Payyanur. So, Pilingom is at a 2-hour drive or is a 2-hour drive from Payyanur. The 3-hour rafting ride will something like extend over. So, what's the meaning there? Will cover. It will encompass a distance of 10 kilometers. Each raft will carry up to 7 people, that is maximum 7 people. It will carry a maximum of 7 people, or each raft will carry maximum 7 people. Now those who participate, those who take part in the competition, in the event, so they are called participants or contestants. So participants or contestants will be briefed on safety measures by those who teach them, people who teach them, that is coaches or trainers. Now remember children, you should never say coaches, it is wrong. C-O-A-C-H-E-R-S is wrong. C-O-A-C-H-E-S. One who coaches, one who gives you coaching is a coach, tennis coach. C-O-A-C-H. So, safety measures by coaches or trainers, whereas it is trainers and here it is coaches, and provided with safety equipment. So, they would be given instructions. They would also be given proper equipment to protect themselves. River Tejashwini is also known as Karimkodu and starts from the Brahmagiri hills of Coorg forest in Karnataka. So instead of starts from, you write originates from. So its origin, the source, the main source is from the Brahmagiri hills of the Coorg forest. And where is it located? It is located in Karnataka. The river flows through Kannur and Kasargod in Kerala before meeting the Arabian Sea near Neeleshwaram. According to the Kerala Tourism Board, about 20 kilometers of the 64 kilometers long river is considered the most suitable for rafting. So instead of the most suitable, you say best. It is considered the best for rafting. So you see how lots of words can be replaced with the appropriate single word. So there comes to light your expertise of the language, your expertise and skill. They are reflected here. So you choose appropriate words, you cut short unwanted words, you give the equivalent word and then you refine your writing. So here we've seen an exercise on vocabulary. Now next, fill in the blanks by choosing the most appropriate word from those given in brackets. So here you've got options. You got 3 words in the brackets. You have to choose the most relevant or the appropriate word. So again your vocabulary, your diction comes to the core. As I said, the more you read, the more familiar the words become and you will be able to fit the right word in the appropriate blank. It comes to you automatically because of your voracious reading, because of your interest in mastering the language. Now we go to the passage. Britain recently National Park Week. So you got 3 words there: announced, celebrated, abolished. Definitely abolished cannot be used here. Abolished is to do away with. Now announced and celebrated. Normally, when there is an exhibition or when there is a trade fair or something, some novel schemes are announced and the winners are selected and they are given prizes. Lucky draws are carried out. So here in such a situation, let us see what happens here. So Britain recently celebrated National Park Week, during which a poll was conducted to find out the dash parks of Britons. Britons, now look at the spelling here, B-R-I-T-O-N-S. This refers to the people of Britain. The people of Britain are called Britons, spelling there. Make a note of the spelling. So what do they wish to find out? To find out the haunted, favorite, hated. Definitely nobody is going to ask you the question, which park do you hate the most? So it would be liked, preferred. So it's not the haunted, deserted or an evil park there. So the favorite park, the favorite parks of Britons. So a poll was conducted at this celebration to find out which park gained most popularity, the most popularity among the Britons. Lake District in northwest England dash the winner. So emerged, declared, stood out. If you're going to choose declared, it should be in the passive. Lake District was declared the winner, but we do not have was here. Now stood out. If you say stood out, it should be stood out as the winner. So that is also ruled out. So what is left here? Which option? Emerged. So Lake District in northwest England emerged the winner with 27% votes, which was thrice that of the second most dash sites, second most famous sites. Lake District region is home to a dash mountainous area that is dash for having inspired William Wordsworth and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2017. Going back to the first sentence again, Lake District region is home to a dash mountainous area. So breathtaking, simply beautiful. Its beauty is unmatched. breathtaking mountainous area that is dash for having inspired. So that is definitely, it's not unknown. It cannot be familiar for having inspired. So that is well known for having inspired the great poet William Wordsworth, and this place was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2017. Now SITE, site is the place. SIGHT is what you look at, site. The region has 12 of the dash lakes in England. So biggest, tallest, shortest. So obviously the answer is biggest. It has 12 of the biggest lakes in England. Families can take part in walking, cycling, swimming activities, and in winter can head to the mountains and take up one of the many dash skills courses. You already have the clue there, in winter. So you can take up the winter skills courses. Okay, I'll just read it out once again so that the entire meaning is clear to you and you will have a chance to see whether you've chosen the appropriate word. Britain recently celebrated National Park Week, during which a poll was conducted to find out the favorite parks of Britons. Lake District in Northwest England emerged the winner with 27% votes, which was thrice that of the second most famous sites. Lake District region is home to a breathtaking mountainous area that is well known for having inspired William Wordsworth and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2017. The region has 12 of the biggest lakes in England. Families can take part in walking, cycling, swimming activities, and in winter can head to the mountains and take up one of the many winter skills courses. So I hope it is clear to you now. So when you read it once, you'll be able to find out whether there is any word that is inappropriate or that doesn't suit the context. If it doesn't fit in, remove it and choose the option that you think is right. That would be suitable. Now we move on to grammar. So under grammar, we've got integrated grammar exercises. So it may be filling in the blanks with prepositions or articles or determiners or the right form of the verb. So it is integrated. It comprises all aspects. Now look at this exercise. Exercise A, fill in the blank with one appropriate word. So an example has been given there. No one knows his name. No one knows the name of the town he came from. He appears to have lived in the jungles dash Brazil, Amazon dash 22 years. So when you look at the sentence, it's very clear to you. It's obvious that the jungles belong to Brazil. So it is the jungles of Brazil. He appears to have lived in the jungles of Brazil, Amazon dash 22 years. So how long has he been living there? For 22 years. A video was released for the first time dash Brazil's Indian Foundation. So was released passive form. It was released by whom? By Brazil's Indian Foundation. So the right answer is by. An agency. Now what is this Indian Foundation? Brazil's Indian Foundation. It is an agency that supports indigenous communities. It supports these indigenous communities. The video shows the images of the so-called uncontacted indigenous man dash is believed to be the last living member. So here the relevance is to the man. That is the continuity there. Therefore you use the relative pronoun who. Indigenous man who is believed to be the last living member of dash tribe. So here definitely the definite article the of the tribe. The last living member of the tribe. Anthropologists say the man who is believed to be in his 50s has lived alone for years in the jungle. Dash agency tried to establish contact with this man. Remember at the beginning we were talking about Brazil's Indian Foundation. That is the agency. So here there's a reference to something that has been discussed earlier. Something that has been spoken of earlier. So the agency. Which agency? This Brazil's Indian Foundation. So the agency tried to establish contact with this man a few times starting in 1996. Dash he responded to outsiders with hostility. So though these people tried to contact him, he did not respond in a friendly manner. He was hostile. He was very furious. He did not like any disturbance. So, but he responded. So that is your answer here. They tried to contact him, but he responded with hostility. We move on to the next exercise. The following passage has not been edited. That is, there are mistakes. There is one error in each of the lines indicated with the blank. So underline each error, pick out the error and write the correct word in the space provided. The first correction has been done as an example. Krishna's butterball is an curious tourist attraction in Mahabalipuram. Now I marked the wrong answers in red and the right answer has been given in the blank again in red. Now Krishna's butterball is an curious tourist. Why should we use an here? It doesn't have a vowel sound. Curious has a consonant sound. Therefore, the article is a. Krishna's butterball is a curious tourist attraction in Mahabalipuram. So instead of an, the answer is a. You continue. What is this now? What is Mahabalipuram? A town about 60 km south of Chennai, famous by its stone carvings. So the moment you read it, there is something jarring to the eye and the ear. How can it be famous by its stone carvings? It is famous for its stone carvings. Some place is famous for something. So the preposition is for and not by. The butterball is a giant balancing rock 5 meters of diameter. So 5 meters in diameter. So the diameter of the huge rock is 5 meters. So here you should use in and not of. Now where is it? Perched at a smooth slope, seemingly defying all laws of physics. So it is dead against all laws of physics. It belies all laws of physics. Perched at a smooth slope. It is perched on something. It is resting on something, not at something. So it is perched on a smooth slope, seemingly defying all laws of physics. So here you use the preposition on. It's a common sight to seeing visitors placing hands under the stone. So it is a common sight, to plus root form of the verb, to infinitive. To see visitors placing their hands under the stone. So seeing is not needed here. The answer is C, to see. Posing for pictures. So why do they go and put their hands under the stone? They are trying to embrace it as if they are holding it. So they are posing for pictures which looks as though they were holding it up. Now carefully analyze this sentence. When you just look at it, it seems to be right. But where is the mistake here? Posing for pictures which looks. So here the relative pronoun which is connected to the noun pictures. And therefore pictures plural noun. So the pictures look as though they were holding it up. That is, the people were holding it up. So we are talking about people who were posing for the pictures. Then we are discussing the pictures. How do the pictures look? Which look? So it's not looks. Because here the noun that is qualified by this adjectival clause is plural. So which look as though they were holding it up. As if they were holding up the rock, preventing it from rolling down. The rocks provides welcome shade if you dare to sit underneath it. Now the rocks provide, it's not provides, the rocks provide welcome shade if you dare to sit underneath them, not it. And local kids has discovered. Local kids, plural. So have discovered. The verb should be plural. Auxiliary verb plural. Have discovered that the slippery nearby hillside also dash made a great natural slide. The slippery nearby hillside also makes a great natural slide. It's not make because hillside is singular. So it should be makes. So I hope you understood this. Please go through it carefully, analyze the sentence and find out whether the appropriate answers have been provided. Now we move on to punctuating. So I'll first read it. Now without the punctuation marks, nothing will be clear. Are cherry seeds lucky? I asked. Of course, said grandfather. What can I do with the seed? I asked. Planted, said grandfather. So I found a small space and began to dig up a flower bed. Now for punctuation, if you mentally, in the exam of course you cannot read it aloud as I do now. So you mentally read the sentence. So what happens mentally aloud without any noise emerging from your lips? Then you will be able to get an idea of the content. And that helps you to fix the right punctuation marks appropriately. That is the secret. Okay. So now I've read it aloud. So you would have got almost half of my answers right. Now let us see how to do it. Now are cherry seeds lucky? I asked. So asked, always there should be a question mark then. there because asked refers to a question. The word asked indicates a question. So, are cherry seeds lucky? I asked, therefore open quotes. Capital A. First word of the sentence, the first letter should be in capital. Are cherry seeds lucky? Question mark, close the quotes. I asked, capital I for the personal pronoun I. Of course, said grandfather. So, grandfather is giving a reply. Therefore, once again you started with the inverted commas. Open quotes, of course, capital O for of course, comma, close quotes. Said grandfather, full stop. You can have a capital G for grandfather because it refers to a particular person. Or throughout the speech, if it is getting repeated, then you know that you're referring to this sole person and therefore it could be in small letters. What can I do with the seed? Again, it's a question. I asked. Therefore, open quotes. What? First letter W in capitals. What can I do with the seed? Question mark, close quotes. Again, capital I for the personal pronoun I asked. Full stop. Grandfather gives a reply. He gives an idea. Plant it, said grandfather. So, open quotes, capital P, plant it. Close quotes, comma, said grandfather, full stop. If you're going to have capital G for grandfather in the first place, then have the same capital G. If you're going to write it in small letters, then retain it here, full stop. So, I found a small space and began to dig up a flower bed. So, capital S, again I, personal pronoun, capital I, found a small space and began to dig up a flower bed, full stop. So, here no quotes because it is only a description of my activity. I am not saying anything. So, children, please realize that punctuation marks play a key role in making the context very clear. Be it a conversation or be it a description of something, the meaning is well explained and is clearly driven home in the minds of the reader only when you insert appropriate punctuation marks. Therefore, they are very, very essential in writing and also in speaking. Only if the person gives you the correct intonation, the correct sequence of the punctuation marks, the pauses appropriately, you will be able to understand the context. So, please pay attention to your punctuation. So far we have discussed grammar, punctuation, prepositions, articles and of course vocabulary. So, kindly revise all these. It's very likely that similar questions may be asked in your public examination. So, as I keep telling you in every class, so please concentrate and complete all the exercises, children. Thank you.